Hey there, this is Tabitha Purple. We are doing our daily devotionals. We are on day 10 of our new sessions of devotionals for this Corona season. We are looking at the words of Jesus today. They are taken from John chapter 15, verse 17. It's a wonderful verse because there are very few times when Jesus outright commands us to do something. And because of that, we can give such importance to those moments. And when you hear this, you might think, aha, I see what you mean. So this is what Jesus commands us to do. In John chapter 15, verse 17, this is what I command you, love one another. I mean, that's not even difficult, right? That's like the easiest thing. It's the best thing about being a Christian, that the commands can be quite straightforward sometimes, except that the application can be difficult. You see, most people, when we hear these commands, love one another, we immediately think good thoughts about the people that we like. And I am guilty the same. There are lots of people in my life whom I love, and I can think very good things about them. There are neighbours who I think are amazing, and I would think very good things about them. I have so many people that I can love in my life. And I think that when I think of these texts, it gives me this kind of warm feeling that I'm doing what Jesus has said. But I think the text actually challenges us to go beyond just the warm feeling from loving those in our immediate path. When it says love one another, this is a two-way street. It means that we should all be engaged in this, and there is two people engaged in one another, because of course that's what it is. But it doesn't limit it to just the people I like. It just said one another, like everybody. Like I should just love people. And that's much more challenging at a time when I'm locked in and other people are locked in. So how can I love you? Well, I think one of the first things we can do to love people is to actually obey the rules from the World Health Organizations, obey those sorts of things, which says look after your neighbor and don't go out and pass on coronavirus, of course. But there are other things that we can do that are encouraging, that are loving, that maybe go beyond just don't go out of my house. There are things like texting, calling, messaging, Zooming, Skyping, WhatsApping, FaceTiming, people within your circle who you know maybe struggle with their mental health issues. Maybe you know that are going through something and need a friendly voice to listen to. There may be people within your circle who are nurses or doctors and who are on the fringes of these groups and who are putting themselves at risk every day. And they might need just an encouraging voice, a thought, a voice note, just a moment. It could be that you send cards or you write something nice. There are all sorts of different ways. I know one pastor who has decided that cake is the way that she will love people, and so she's got somebody who is in lockdown, quarantine, cannot leave, and they are baking cakes, placing them outside the door. She picks them up and then she distributes them to people who have a celebration, a birthday, because as a key worker, she has the freedom to move. So there are all kinds of ways in which we can love others. And I think that it's so important that we try to figure out how to do that. But there are also times when we have to learn to respect others. You know, there are critical key workers who are now working, which you may not have realised were key workers before. The people who collect our rubbish, the people who work in our shops, the pharmacists that are still open, the supermarket staff who are working tirelessly, the techie guys who make sure that we can still have all of this lovely gadgets and gizmos and fix all of our tech to make sure that we have internet and all of those things that keep us connected. Those are all critical and key workers. And maybe you hadn't thought about how nice it is to say thank you. So I have a challenge in this video. A few days ago, I was in a supermarket and I was talking to the lady at the counter, as I always do. And I said to her, thank you for being out during this time. And she got really emotional. And I thought to myself, has no one thanked you for being here? You know, they're risking themselves to sit in a supermarket and serve us food. They don't need to do that. They don't have to. they could be worried about their lives and their family too. So my challenge in this video is to say thank you to someone. Thank you to someone who's still going to work, who doesn't need to. And not just all of our health workers, of course, which deserve a massive thank you for putting their lives on the risk, but also all of those other staff like shop workers who are in their supermarkets doing their regular job, trying to stay safe, trying to keep their family safe, but also serving us, the general public. So maybe next time you're out, say thank you, because just maybe you might make a difference to the person sitting there. And maybe that's a way that you can love somebody else. Have a blessed and beautiful day.